Hello and welcome to the Club Series here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live for rounds 3 and 4 of the championship, coming to you from Autodromo Nazionale Monza in the outskirts of Milan, Italy. And well, it is another 2 rounds of this championship, and after the week break that we had last week, we started off at Brands Hatch 2 weeks ago, and those were brilliant, exciting, dramatic races. And well, Monza always delivers action in the bucketful here, as always. I'm Paul Smith, alongside me, and well, welcome back to the series, Mr. Adam Bath, with Samuli Kumo on the cameras. And well, Adam, you weren't here for the first week. Alex Simpson stepped in for you that time, but what a round to come back to Monza.
Yeah, it's a circuit that always provides action over the past few seasons we've been here, and so does Brands Hatch Indy that we had last week. And yeah, it was a fantastic start to the season there for another series of the Club Series. And yeah, 2 races around Monza, 2 20-minute races with all the usual factors that we have come to love in the Club Series, with the tyre wear that we usually see and the great racing that we always see as well. So it should be another brilliant evening's racing, and great to have it back after the week break.
Absolutely, and well, we had dramatic events last week, and well, one familiar race winner last week in race 1 in Piers Pryor, but new man to the series, Dan Craft, as well, getting involved. So he really has been really a revelation for the series. He's always been quick, especially in the Pro Series that we see here on Thursday nights on Apex Racing TV. And well, Dan, he's going to be giving Piers Pryor a bit of a close action here this season, with him finishing in second in both races, and Pryor finishing first and third in the 2 races last time out.
Yeah, I was just seeing if I could get the BSRTC standings to see where he is. Yeah, he's second in the moment, as of course we started the showdown. 35 points behind Savidovic, having got a win last week at Duca, so doing well there, and there's only 4 points off Piers Pryor. We'll run you through the championship standings. Piers Pryor leads Dan Craft by 4 points, then 22 behind Pryor, it's Matt Bunn. Diego Melro, reigning series champion, is in 4th, with Ben Gregory in 5th. 6th, it is Pete Newman for Club 73 with Hive Hill Motorcycles. Then in 7th, it's Roy Ververke, James Leggett in 8th, 9th, Craig Evans, the highest of the Tier 2 drivers, and 10th, it is Andrew Woodhouse. Over in the Tier 2 standings, it is those aforementioned, Evans and Woodhouse, 12 points apart in 1st and 2nd. Then Malcolm in 3rd, 4th, Jim Flanagan, Mark Woodhouse in 5th, Max Wright 6th, Jason Rowe 7th, Tristan Bodis 8th, Stuart Atkinson 9th, and Sean Gardner in 10th. And then in the team standings, relatively close here after the opening 2 races of the season. GVR lead the team's championships winners from last season, Team Mad. They're in 2nd. 3rd is Club 73 Karting with Nitro Racing, with CQR 4th, and Club 73 with Hive Hill Motorcycles in 5th. Radical Racing UK are in 6th, with Kunstvoller Subaru for You in 7th. Automech Academy in 8th. Isle of Base Automech in 9th. And Team Dial Up in 10th. Nice to see them off the bottom of the table for the first time in a while. 11th is Boosted Motorsport with a GBR modeler in 12th. Electric Motorsports in 13th, and GBR2 Ultiplay bringing up the rear of the teams in 14th.
Yeah, so that's all the standings, everything brought up to date for you here. Of course, we're here at Monza this week. Next week it's Motegi. We will have a night race once again around Motegi there next week. So you know, that's really, you want to get a good start to your season, and well, 2 people who have had a good start to the season have been Piers Pryor and Dan Craft. Although saying that, Pete Newman, don't forget, won the 2nd race last time out of Brands Hatch GP circuit. But as we look at qualifying at the moment, then Diogo Melrose currently on pole position, with Piers Pryor in 2nd place, so just over a 10th of a second behind in 2nd. Sam Reed, fantastic effort from him, up in 3rd place at the moment, with Matthew Bunn 4th and Michael Hall in 5th, the 2 CQR drivers together. So that's the top 5 of qualifying. And well, we talk about this track here at Monza. The challenges that we've got here, it is a high-speed track, but it's really about not so much being late on the brakes into the chicanes and into these corners like Lesmo's, it's all about your exit speed, isn't it, around this track, Adam?
Yeah, it's all about carrying the speeds down the very long straights we've got here, yeah. We're going to be seeing drivers probably going on the brakes a little bit early, especially into the corners that are really crucial that lead onto such long straights, such as the Parabolica, for example. That is a very important corner for getting a runoff, so you can get the best possible slipstream down the front straight. Then you've got the Resifilio, the first chicane, then the run through Curva to the Roggia. We saw a lot of action there, and we'll probably use the Roger at the Roggia pun at some point during the race. Then the tricky Lesmos, where we saw a huge crash, I think 2 seasons ago, on the first lap of race 1. Cars getting so close together where the track narrows down under the old banking, and trying to get a good run through the Ascari where it's really one line, and if you mess it up there, you're going to be really struggling down the back straight towards the Parabolica. So yeah, the exits of the corners here and your lines through all the corners are so vital at this Monza circuit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly a challenging course to get right, and just looking at the qualifying times, we've got about a second covering first to about 15th place. On a track of this length as well, it is a 3.6 mile track, so quite a long track for this Kia. But as I say, 1 second covering top 15, again showing the closeness of the championship. Even then, the drivers behind, they're separated by hundredths of seconds. It's so close, and it's so crucial to get a slipstream, especially on your flying lap in qualifying.
Yeah, it really helps here when you get a slipstream, and we've seen some of the teams, well, I've seen some of the teams so far in the practice and qualifying sessions trying to work together. I think the Automech Academy, the team with Max Wright in the fold, has definitely been doing that, and at the moment I'm just looking at Chris Wood, Sam Reed and Piers Pryor all relatively close together. This is the one of the Club 73 teams working well here. Club 73 karting with Nitro Racing, they're all working together now. Pryor trying to get that pole position. He's always so good at getting the front spots on the grid, and he's just over 1/10 of a second behind Diego Mauro. In the final moments of the session, he might try and use the slipstream off his teammates in front to try and get that pole position back. Yeah,
he'll certainly be trying his best to do that, but well, you're at the mercy of other drivers as well on the track. If there's any mistakes from other drivers, then it can really put a dampener on your lap. And well, people like Chris Wood is having to dodge a few drivers there, and he's on a hot lap now. Well, of course, the two Club 73 teams are working together there. You can see you've got Sam Reed as one of the cars from behind goes off. But you've got Sam Reed for the Club 73 karting with Nitro Racing, and also got Club 73 with Hive Hill Motorcycles, all working together. So even though they are separate teams, strictly, they're working together as a unit and to give each other a draft. And, well, with 44 entered into this race, it certainly is going to be a challenge, and you want to get qualified as far up as possible to give yourself the best opportunity for the race win.
Yeah, it's so tight in the midfield, and of course it all bunches up into the first chicane, and you can be a victim. These Kia Optimas, since we've had the recent update from iRacing, seem to break their steering a bit more easier than they used to, so you've got to be careful of that you don't end up scrapping really one of the left or right front corners in this car through the first chicane. And even after that, you're still not really clear until you complete the first lap, because as we were saying earlier, the run out of the second Lesmo, we've seen some pretty big incidents there in the past.
Well, Piers Pryor just coming to the end of a flying lap. It'll be interesting to see if he improves. 1:54.592 is what he's got at the moment. He's going to come across the timing line right about now, and his time 1:54.712, so not an improvement, but he has got time for one more lap here, and he's in the draft of his teammate Sam Reed in front of him. So Piers will be doing everything he can to try and get a pole position from our Season 4 champion, Diogo Melro, the only champion at the moment on the track. Of course, Pete Harrod and Maciej Sakovic just taking a season out from racing in this championship. So Diogo, the only reigning champion, he is the reigning champion, but the only former champion on the grid this season. Closing stages of qualifying, we're just ticking down, 10 seconds to go. It is Melrose from Pryor, Reed in third, Bunn in fourth, Hall fifth, Chris Woods in sixth place with Adam Hadfield seventh, Dan Kraft down in eighth position. But of course he's a privateer, he's running on his own, so maybe not having teammates to get a draft from. In ninth place Tom Stanley, and in 10th place is Benjamin Gregory. So plenty of mix of teams and drivers there, but well, the checkered flag is out. Everybody now has to finish their lap, Adam.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Piers Pryor can improve. Sam Reed hasn't had the best laps, and now he's going to release his teammate now. Piers Pryor going into the Variante Ascari. See if this works to the advantage of Club 73. Karting with Nitro Racing. Let's have to look again at the entry list. Going off the Ascari chicane now towards the final corner, the Parabolica, where we're going to see it being a really important spot on the track, so you can set a driver up going down the long straight into the Rettifilio. Through the final corner he goes now. 1:54.452 is the time to beat. Piers Pryor's personal best 1:54.592. He comes across the line now. Is it going to be enough to get him onto the pole position? He does a 1:55.442, and that will not improve his time. I'll tell you what, who has improved their time? Ben Hackerson. He's just leapt up to third and has split those two Club 73 Karting with Nitro Racing cars. And
also enough one to improve Clinton Bell up to 7th. So he was in 17th, so he's moved up 10 places there. So good qualifying from him on that final lap. And we've got a few more cars out on track. Alex Everett is one of those who's just going to be finishing a lap there of 55.797, so not improving his time there. Jim Flanagan as well didn't improve his time. We've just got the last few cars coming across the line here. Tristan Bodis to set a lap time. That does improve him up to 23rd, but Tristan won't be too pleased with that, to be honest, I don't think, because he'll have expected more. Chris Sherburn is coming into pits, and it appears almost everyone else has finished. I'm just seeing if there's anybody else running out there. Jason Rowe coming into the Parabolica, but he's taking it easy. So I believe that will be, yes it will be, that'll be everyone who has set a lap time. So Adam, just to give yourself a chance, 44 cars on the grid, take it away with the grid.
Yeah, thankfully the organisers usually give us a bit longer during the gridding process to read all the cars out, so let's go. Diogo Melrose starts on pole position, the reigning series champion, out-qualifying Piers Pryor, the king of the pole positions and the king of the qualifying laps, you could say. Ben Hackerson starts in third position with Sam Reed in fourth, Matt Bunn in fifth, Michael Hall in sixth place with Clinton Bell seventh, Chris Wood in eighth, Adam Hadfield in ninth, and Dan Kraft second in the championship will start in 10th. Tom Stanley in 11th with Ben Gregory for that GVR team starting in 12th, Andrew Whitehead in 13th, 14th Max Wright, Chad Straycott in 15th, Roy Verke in 16th, leading the Pro-Am Championship, of course, in the BSRTC. Stuart McFadden, of course, from our very own Paul Smith. 17th, Stuart McFadden. John Roberts in 18th. 19th, Stephen Baxter. And Andrew Woodhouse, who hadn't turned a lap around here until very earlier on, after we just finished the IMSA broadcast that was on Apex Racing TV. The unrelated Mark Woodhouse starts in 21st with Ben Warburton 22nd. 23rd is Tristan Bodis. 24th is Sean Gardner. 25th Alex Everett, 26th Craig Evans, 27th Rob Graham, 28th Scott Malcolm, 29th Ian Roskell, Jason Rowe in 30th, Jim Flanagan 31st, Neil Rocks 32nd, 33rd Stuart Atkinson, 34th Chris Sherburn, 35th David White, Dale Green 36th, Perry Warburton 37th, 38th Law Murray, Lyndon Swaby in 39th, David Self 40th, Ethan McColgan 41st, Alan Brown 42nd, and the cars that didn't set a lap time, James Leggett and Adrian King will start in 43rd and 44th.
There you go, get your breath back while you're doing that. Yeah, big field once again. We had 45 out for the first two rounds, so I know Jeroen Kaiser is currently on holiday, so he'll be enjoying himself and maybe watching this broadcast for us tonight. But yeah, 44 cars on the grid going into that first chicane. It's going to be, well, possibly carnage. is one possibility, but to be honest, with the last two seasons that we had, there wasn't the big crashes at the first chicane, it was down at the second or third chicane. But anyway, enough of that. We're getting ready for the start of the race. So the red light will come on here, and we've got 20 minutes of the Club Series here on Apex Racing TV. The green light is on, and away we go. The pole position man, Diogo Melro, doesn't get a good start. Piers Pryor does. He's going to come through into the lead of this race. Well, it is Ben Hackerson also trying to come through into second place. Now, the question is, will everyone be able to make it through? Oh, Piers Pryor runs off. He's cut across the course. That's going to cost him big time through there. We're going through, and there's bumping and barging going on in the midfield and further down. Hopefully, everybody manages to make it through. And, well, so far, the track isn't blocked, so that's a good start. And anyway, down to the second chicane then, and it is Diogo Melro who leads this one. And it's Ben Hackerson in second place. And again, we're going to keep an eye out for any trouble going into the chicane. And De La Roggia and, well, Tom Stanley and number 40 Andrew Whitehead were together through that chicane. A little bit more contact, but not too much. Everybody keeping on track. So we've just got two cars, Dale Green and Chaz Draycott, and also David White in the and we've got incidents. What on earth is happening here, Adam?
We had a car that was stuck in the middle of the track in the first Lesmo. Of course, no one could see it coming. It was Stephen Baxter that got turned around and was facing the entire field, and I think one of the team dial-up cars was involved in a big way. I don't know which one it was. I think it might have been Perry Warburton. No, it wasn't, but it was one of the team dial-up cars.
Well, I can tell you that Ben Warburton's got a huge amount of damage on the front of his car, the 85 car. And do you know what? We've not had a blockage after the Lesmo, so that's good going so far. So, coming through Parabolica for the first time then, it is Diogo Melro in the lead, but he's going to be pretty much a sitting duck here, ahead of Ben Hackerson. Fantastic start from Ben. Then it's Sam Reed in third, Michael Hall fourth, Matthew Bunn fifth, Clinton Bell sixth, Chris Wood seventh, Daniel Craft up to eighth. Here comes Ben Hackerson looking to the inside of Diogo Melro. It's going to be last of the late breakers in towards that De La Roggia chicane, Rettifilio, sorry. And, well, Diogo able to hold on to that position and holds it around the outside, and that's a good job from him. And, well, so look at the pack of cars further down. It's just absolutely crazy how close these cars are all running. And on the majority of them, quite a few, although Andrew Whitehead is in the pit, so he's got damage. And let's see who else. Dale Green, Chaz Draycott, Stephen Baxter and David White. And what you're seeing there, it's Daniel Craft.
There was a battle for lead, but yeah, what's happened to Daniel Craft?
He's round at De La Roggia. Let's have a look what happened there. Oh, he got tagged from behind.
He got Roger at the Roggia.
There we go. And I believe it was Adam Hadfield. Yes, it was. A little bit ambitious on the brakes there was Hadfield. Into the back of Craft. And that turned him round. So Craft has dropped down the order. And the man who's in second place in the championship down to 29th in this race now. Bit of damage to the rear of that car. But still, he's forcing his way past Neil Rocks there. And that'll be up enough a place to 28th at least. So, yeah, the lead is separated out a little bit, 1.1 seconds between them. But look at this, Michael Hall right in the back of Sam Reed here is using the slipstream, giving him a bump draft as well. Down towards the Parabolica. Matt Bunn going down the inside of his teammate, is he? No, he's having to defend against Clinton Bell. So that's 4th, 5th, 6th all together there with also Chris Wood and Tom Stanley. Chris Wood there as well behind. Tom Stanley's a little bit further behind because he's got his teammate Adam Hadfield right behind him as Stanley. But look at this, we've got cars coming out the pits and we've got cars spreading out across the track here. We've got two wide going down into the Rettifilio, and Matt Bunn is making the move around the outside of his teammate. He's not going to make that work. He has got the inside here though, trying to block off the car of to Bell, and Chris Wood has to just slot in behind, but action all over, Adam.
Yeah, and it's all happening here inside this top 8, and of course a 44 car field. There's going to be plenty of action happening all over the place. And who's that looking at the inside? That was the Club 73 car of Clinton Bell trying to get past Michael Hall going into the chicane, and number 11's off. That's Matt Bunn. He's going to now be at the mercy of his teammate and possibly the 73 car as well into the first of the Lesmos. He's going to have to concede the place to Michael Hall, but should be able to hold off the Club 73 car of Matt Bunn, and who's that behind for company? Chris Wood as well. So very close battle here for what is that 4th, 5th and 6th.
Yeah, it is, and yeah, really close action between those guys. It's getting closer at the front as well. Diogo Melrose' lead has been cut down a little bit, and Ben Hackerson, he seems to be on a charge at the moment. As through the chicane they go through Ascari, and Sam Reed running very wide there. All that battling has helped Sam Reed actually pull away, gap out from Michael Hall. So Sam will be happy with that, because it means that he's battling it out for the lead with these two in front. Behind, Matthew Bunn still under pressure from Clinton Bell. Bunn having to hold the inside line around the Parabolica. Is going to be compromised on the exit, and well, if Bell does it right, he can hold the speed out there. But Michael Hall, Matt Bunn's teammate, is moving across to give him the slipstream, because Matthew Bunn needs it as they're going down towards the Rettifilio once again, and now Bunn getting up alongside once again, and Bell, I don't think he's going to quite do it, into the braking zone. And yeah, Matt Bunn holds on to that position for the time being, but he's under intense pressure from Clinton Bell.
Yeah, he didn't have a good run through the first chicane either. He missed the braking point by just a little bit, and now here comes Chris Wood onto the action. We could go 2 by 2 here through the Curva Grande and towards the Della Roggia. Two CQR cars trying to stop the onslaught from behind. Into the Roggia we go. Up the inside goes Matt Bunn, but he isn't able to get the position on Michael Hall. So Hall's able to hold on for now, and it is as you were in that battle, really.
Well, I can tell you that we have lost Ben Gregory. A little bit of technical problems for him. It's certainly not a disqualification, so yeah, a bit of technical problems for Gregory there. So hopefully he'll be able to get back up and running and just get back in and run just to get a some form of grid position for race 2. But yeah, still that gaggle of cars there that's battling away. Another gaggle of cars. Look at this. Yeah, Tristan Bodis at the front of this huge gaggle of cars. There must be 8 cars there in this pack. And one of the dial-up cars, it's our colleague Andrew Woodhouse. He's battling away through this as well. He's in 15th place at the moment, but Tristan Bodis, he has got let's see, Craig McLeod Evans, Piers Pryor. So Pryor having to make the comeback, of course, after that mistake on the first corner of the first lap. Andrew Woodhouse, Matt Woodhouse, Alex Everett, Sean Gardner and Ian Roskell are all together. This is one big group of cars, and this is all battling over 12th position on track. We've only had 8 minutes of the race so far, and these guys, well, the tyres will still be feeling good, and they're all battling away. And Piers Pryor, he's trying to make the move on Craig McLeod Evans. McLeod Evans just having to get on the brakes a little bit there. That's how close it was. And Pryor late on the brakes, a little bit too late on the brakes there. He's cut across the inside, and he's causing everyone to check up. Oh, big crash behind. Who was that? Well, Chris Sherburn's one that's gone flying across the grass there, and Chris Sherburn was collected by one of the dial-up cars.
We were going pretty wide,
yeah, and yeah, Jim Flanagan, I'll get names right eventually at some point, and Max Wright were caught up in that one as well. It's a big incident at the end of the long straight, and yeah, it was just that dial-up car that got caught up with them and sent them round.
James Leggett, cutting across the team dial-up car. I don't know why he did it, to be fair, and he just ended up collecting the innocent Automet car of what was Max Wright. Such a shame for Max Wright and the team, but he has carried on his way, and it looks like he's picked up minimal damage, so he should be able to continue.
Yeah, so, well, we've seen that, and out front, it's still the 3 out front there. Diogo Melrose holding on to that lead for the time being. Benjamin Hackerson in 2nd place. Sam Reed in 3rd. Sam's just dropping back just a little bit off the back of those two who are battling it out for the lead. Now, we saw Ben Hackerson in Season 2 was given a good account of himself in that season as well, so great to see him back up at the front where he belongs. And, well, we've got action, we've got side-by-side action. Chris Wood, oh no, Wood deciding against making the move for the time being on Clinton Bell, although he's having a look down into the Retafilio, and he's going to make that move stick as Wood, so up a position for that Club 73 and Hive Hill Motorcycles car, up ahead of the Club 73 Nitro car, and well, Clinton Bell loses that position. He's now got Adam Hadfield who's bearing down on them as well. There's a car back marker behind them as well, again, just hanging around, loitering with intent. That's the 22 car of Chaz Draycott. As a lap down so far as Chaz. But look at the amount of curb they took on the De La Rogia, and it's cost Chris Wood dearly. And through goes Bell, back in front. Clinton up into that 6th position.
Good move there. Oh, Andrew Woodhouse, he might be able to do an overtake here. Going towards the first of the Lesmos. Mark Woodhouse had a terrible run, and Woodhouse is through up the inside. Woodhouse might try and fight back round the outside of Lesmos. Quarter panels almost. There was a bit of rubbing there, but Andrew Woodhouse was able to just hold on there from Mark Woodhouse. And I think Andrew now just wants to scamper away from the car behind, because he doesn't want to end up getting taken out of the race. And he very nearly was on the exit of the first Lesmo.
And, well, we have lost 2 cars. Dan Kraft and Rob Graham. What on earth has happened between them? It's on the exit of the Lesmos, and bang, there's contact. Oh, Rob Graham's an innocent party in that one. And I believe it was Neil Rocks that was involved there. So, yeah, just Dan Kraft getting caught up as well, and he's out of this race. So 2 cars disqualified then on that last lap, and we're only 12 minutes into the race, Adam, so that tells you how much they've been pushing things. But pushing things at the front is Ben Hackerson. He's only, well, he was less than half a second behind, and Hackerson giving it everything he can. He wants this win.
Yeah, and he's not allowing Diogo Melro to break away at all. One of the traits we usually see sometimes at Monza is that sometimes the packs might get spread out, but usually by the end of the race they always come back together again. Such as the huge loss of time you can have if you end up battling with a car. And yeah, Melro's just holding on at the moment. Of course, he is the lead car. Lap time last time around, 1:55.642 for him, 1:55.375. Of course, Ben Hackerson having the advantage of the slipstream as a back marker goes off in front of these guys. This is David White, just getting out of the way of the lead trio, and should rejoin the track now after his bit of off-roading in his Kia Optima. But yeah, Diogo Melro hasn't been able to really gain more than about a second and a bit advantage over Ben Hackerson. Hackerson definitely not allowing Melro to get away, the runner-up in Season 1, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's got championship pedigree. He knows what it's like to fight for a championship, does Ben, and he's giving it absolutely everything he can. He cuts across the curbs there nicely at the Ascari chicane, and that's one of the good things about this Kia. You can use those curbs to your advantage, and especially at the Ascari chicane, you want to use those to your advantage. So down into the Parabolica once again, and Hackerson just having to stay behind, maybe looking after his tyres a little bit for an attempt towards the end of the race. Matthew Bunn, by the way, has made it past Michael Hall between the 2 CQR cars, so Bunn up into 4th, Hall 5th. Chris Wood is now 6th ahead of Clinton Bell, and what else have you seen there?
Sorry, there's a bit of contact at the final corner between Roy Verke and Stuart McFadden. And lead battle going on as well. Yeah, here it comes Ben Hackerson, Paul. Whilst we were looking at that, Ben Hackerson getting the lead. Oh, so close to a quarter panel there from Curva Grande. He's been able to get past Diogo Melro, it's happened, but Melro's going to try and fight back straight away in the Rogia.
Yeah, he's going to go for the inside line into the De La Rogia. Sam Reed sitting behind, and oh, that's not the time you want a few technical problems happening there when you're side by side, and Melro will pull it round the outside. Hackerson was compromised on the exit of that De La Rogia, and now Sam Reed is the man who's going to start battling away. And the last thing that Hackerson wants is Sam Reed slowing him down because he doesn't want Melrose to pull away here. Tristan Bodice is at a standstill at the De La Rocha chicane. Something's happened between him and Craig McLeod-Evans. A little bit of quarter panel contact. That's it, round she goes, good night. He's down to 19th and he's going to lose a few more places there. But Hackerson all over the back of Melrose. I intimated towards it, Adam. Is it a case that he's been just sat there looking after his tyres to then make these moves towards the end?
It's the joys of being in second place, really. I think in cases like these, you'd rather be the car in second place rather than the car out front. I know you get points for leading laps and stuff like that, but Ben Hackerson, I'd rather be in his position. Going into the Parabolica we go, then he's going to try and go around the outside. He's just not enough alongside to get it done, but he's got a fantastic cutback. Yeah, here we go onto the front straight.
Yeah, so it's Hackerson, great drive out of the Parabolica, and they're going to go side by side, but I don't think he's quite got the run, so he's going to dip back into that slipstream, use that draft of Diogo Melro, and he's maybe going to have a look again into the Rettifilio. He's going to look down the inside, on the brakes, hard on the brakes into that corner, and, well, they're side by side still, and, well, Melrose gets the job done, but he's still holding on to that position because Hackerson gets the slightly better run out of the Rettifilio as they head towards the De La Rocha, and this is the chance for Hackerson. He's going to show him the outside line, I think, is Hackerson, and well, Hackerson just deciding against it for the time being into the De La Rocha.
Yeah, 1 lap 9 of the race. We've got less than 5 minutes to go now, so we are definitely entering the climax of this first race of the day. And yeah, Hackerson just playing safe at the moment. We'll see what happens on the final lap. We've seen him eyeing up possible overtaking opportunities on the Monza circuit to try and get past Melrose, who goes very wide through the second Lesmo. Putting 2 wheels into the gravel will hinder him a tenth or two, or let Hackerson back through. But yeah, Hackerson just shaping up at the moment. We have got just a few laps left. We've got probably about 2 or 3. And then we'll see what Hackerson's all about on that final lap going for the lead.
We have lost Stuart Atkinson. He's been disqualified from this race as well now, so he's accumulated instant points and hit that 12 limit, and he is out there. But yeah, down towards the Parabolica we go once again. Hackerson closing up to the back of Melrose. He wants to set him up here. Get that better drive through the Parabolica, get on the power. You don't want to get flat out straight on the power, you want to feed it in. Feel that grip, don't let it wash out onto the outside of the corner. That's exactly what Hackerson is trying to do. Using that draft, Melrose trying his best to break the draft, but Hackerson once again looking to the inside into the Rettifilio. Once again, we've got about 2 laps possibly, 2 laps left in this one, and Hackerson side by side. They're going side by side through there. He's going to get the faster run out the exit of that chicane because it's not quite as tight the line he took, and that's Hackerson into the lead. But Melrose right onto that rear bumper. He's almost sending in Morse code through there, through that bumper. He's trying his best to get past Hackerson, holding that inside line into the De La Rocha, and Melrose, you can make moves around the outside through there, but not this time. And Hackerson with the better line through there gets on the power nice and early, and that's the move done. He's in the lead now, behind the Michael Hall, holding on to 4th place. Matt Bunn trying his best though to get past his teammate. Hackerson runs a little bit wide through Lesmo 1 onto the brakes, and do you get the feeling that maybe he made that move a lap too early? You should have left it maybe for the start of the last lap, Adam.
Well, we're about to find out. Yeah, the hunter has now become the hunted. The predator has become the prey, and down this straight we go towards the Variante Ascari. Melrose attacking half a lap later. Up the inside he goes into Ascari. Is Hackerson going to try and hold out around the outside? He is, and he might just be able to do it. He does. That's fantastic from Ben Hackerson. Resilient driving there from Ben Hackerson, and he's able to hold on, but Melrose is going to fight back into the Parabolica.
Yeah, he is. He's not hanging around, and we've lost Sam Reed from this one, unfortunately, as well. So, yeah, unfortunately for him, he was doing really good, but, yeah, away he goes, and down the inside goes Melrose, and Melrose taking that position, but Hackerson now is in the prime position here. He can make this move if he uses the slipstream, uses that better run out of the Parabolica. We're going to be starting the final lap here, and, well, side by side, down the starting finish straight, and it's going to be whoever blinks first, who's the latest of the late breakers in towards that turn 1, the Rettifilio. Hard on the brakes, Hackerson down the inside, he's pushing in wide. Melro though gives it a little bit back. Hackerson though has the outside line. They're still side by side as they're going to Curva Grande here, and this is fantastic racing for the lead of this race on the final lap, and they're headed in towards the De La Rocha. A little bit of contact there, a little bit of rubbing, and Melro still, he's hanging back. He's decided against attacking into the De La Rocha. He's going to try and get the better run through there, through the Lesmos, and well, Hackerson having to go defensive here. He's really struggling as they go through the Lesmos. I think he grazed the barrier on the inside there, did Hackerson. This will give Melro the opportunity to make the move here through the second Lesmo. It's all about carrying the speed through there. Use as much of that runoff as he possibly can, and out they go now, down towards the Escara chicane, and this really, you would think, is one of the final opportunities. He can make the move into the Parabolica, and Melro's going for it. He's going to go down the inside into the Escara chicane. Hackerson still holding it out around the outside. Hackerson, it's very close between the two of them, and Hackerson just holding on to it for the time being, but we've still got one more overtaking opportunity. If Melro can use that draft and get the better run into the Parabolica, he could get this win yet. The pack behind them are closing up as well. They wanted a piece of this action. Melro looking to the outside into the Parabolica. Hackerson's going to be compromised on that inside line on the power. Melro, Hackerson, side by side. Who's going to be the one who takes this win? Hackerson's just crawling ahead. He's going to take the win here in race 1. Fantastic driving from both of them. Across the line they go. They're covered by 600ths of a second between them. Fantastic driving. Brilliant win from Ben Hackerson. Unbelievable. The Club Series just keeps on delivering. We've still got battling further down as well. James Leggett and Tristan Bodis, two battered cars there, battling it out for 16th place. Leggett on the inside. He started last, or next to last, should I say. And he's going to come across the line there. And, well, that is that position for Leggett. Who else is involved here as well? Jim Flanagan and Max Wright. They're battling it out across the line. And it's going to be Flanagan who just takes that position, and Sherburne behind Perry Warburton, they're battling it out as well. Wow, what a finish there, and Adam, that is one of the best finishes I've ever seen in any series.
Two brilliant drivers there going at it, and Ben Hackerson and Diego Melro. They didn't leave anything there, did they? Especially going through the Variante Ascari. I thought for a brief moment we were going to come to blows there between those two, and yeah, I thought the chance for Diego Melro had gone going towards the final corner after he had a poor line through the Variante Ascari, but he stuck with it and had a run around the outside. And I have seen it work in the past. I think in some GT3 race we had a car being able to get past on the outside of the Parabolica. But yeah, what a run to the finish, and Ben Hackerson taking the opening win of the evening. Him and Melro. Of course, Ben Hackerson missed out on the championship in the final corner of Season 1, but two championship-worthy drivers going at it there, and what a fantastic first race.
That just breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. My hat goes off to all those drivers out there, but especially those lead two to battle away like that to the end was just absolutely incredible. Wow, what a race, and that's just race 1. We've got a reverse grid race to come up shortly as well, so there's going to be plenty of action in that one with drivers coming through the field. So Adam, why don't you take us through the final results of race 1 then?
So Ben Hackerson takes his first win of the season, hadn't scored a point until today, so way to get off the mark. Diego Melro gets second place, then 64 thousandths behind after starting on the pole position. Michael Hall gets third place on the podium after starting in 6th. Matt Bunn in 4th, so a good 3rd and 4th there for CQR. 5th for Clinton Bell, Tom Stanley in 6th to 7th for Chris Wood. 8th Adam Hadfield, 9th Piers Pryor after that slowdown on the opening lap being so costly. Always is so costly if you get a slowdown in the opening lap of the race. And Stuart McFadden finishing in 10th. Ian Roskell 11th, 12th Sean Gardner, 13th Andrew Woodhouse, who gained some positions on the final lap. I don't know what happened there. Mark Woodhouse followed him home in 14th, Alex Everett in 15th, 16th for Roy Ververke, 17th and 43rd on the grid James Leggett, 18th for Tristan Bodis, 19th Ben Warburton and Jason Rowe in 20th. John Roberts finished in 21st with Jim Flanagan 22nd, quickly followed home by Max Wright across the line in 23rd. Max Wright started 14th, so had to regain those positions after that contact down at the first chicane during the race. Scott Malcolm finishing in 24th, 25th for Neil Rocks, Lyndon Swaby in 26th, 27th for Perry Warburton, Christopher Sherburn in 28th, David South 42nd to 30th, 40th sorry to 29th, 42nd to 30th for Alan Brown, Andrew Whitehead in 31st place, 32nd for Ben Gregory after having what looked like technical issues during the race. Law Murray in 33rd, Adrian King finishing in 34th place, Stephen Baxter 35th, and in the cars 1 lap down or more we had Craig Evans 1 lap down along with Chaz Draycott, David White also a 1 lap down, Sam Reed 2 laps down along with Stuart Atkinson, Ethan McColgan 5 laps down, 6 laps down were Dan Kraft and Rob Graham, and Dale Green involved in issues at the start of the race. He finished 10 laps down in 44th.
So yeah, wow, I'm getting my breath back after that one. What a thrilling race and brilliant, fantastic. Well, we've got the reverse grid draw coming up now, Adam, and 21st to 32nd. So just take us through the people who could be up for that.
Okay, let's have a look then. 21 to 32, of course, in the Club Series. These are the drivers eligible: John Roberts, Jim Flanagan, Max Wright, Scott Malcolm, Neil Rocks, Lyndon Swaby, Perry Warburton, Chris Sherburn, David South, Alan Brown, Andrew Whitehead, who took a few race 2 wins last season, and Ben Gregory. So we'll send it over to Samuli Kumo on the cameras, who will now spin the wheel of fortune, and we'll find out who's on pole for race 2, race 4 of the season.
Yep, so the wheel will spin, and where it lands, we will see. And it is 28. So
for Sherburn gets put into pole position. Perry Warburton for Team Dial-Up 2nd, Lyndon Swaby 3rd, Neil Rocks 4th, and Scott Malcolm in 5th.
So Chris Sherburn, who got involved in that incident into turn 1, actually it's turned out well for him. He's got pole position in this one, so we'll be looking forward to that second race that will be coming up shortly here live on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. I mean, if that race is anything to go by, this second race you will not want to miss. So stick around. We'll be right back after these short messages.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Truex in the outside, contact made, 56 slides in at a 4, who's gonna be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Welcome back to the Club Series here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. It is round 4 of the Club Series, and well, we say this every week, Adam. How are we going to top that? Well, these drivers are going to do the best to try and top that.
Well, it's race 2, so we've got all the makings of it possibly being topped. We've got a reverse grid this time, so the guys that are usually at the front of the grid will have to fight their way through, and we've seen some pretty big incidents so far today. They're going to have their work cut out, especially because the slipstream is such a great equaliser here at Monza, so it should be a fascinating second race to watch.
Yeah, certainly is going to be an interesting one. Drivers, they know what they're dealing with here. It's the same weather conditions as the first race, so drivers just going to have to look after the tyres a little bit just to make sure that they can make it to the end. But I have to say, I thought maybe that Ben had gone a little bit early in that first race towards the end, but it certainly worked out there towards the on that final lap. And if we can get thrilling racing as half as good as that, then yeah, it's going to be an epic race. And as you say, 28 cars, so quite a large reverse grid there as well.
Yes, it is. It's almost really as big as we can go in the Club Series. So we'll see how they can get on. Perry Warburton up there for Team Dial-Up as well. Andrew Woodhouse was talking to us during the break, saying he had a good race. We'll see if Perry can get it done for Team Dial-Up. Of course, they're in need of a good result after having such an awful season last time around. Of course, they weren't at some of the events. That didn't help them. But yeah, they were always at the bottom of the team standings. And it's good to see them off the bottom so far this season. We'll see if they can get a good result. A podium would just be what they need. So we'll see how they can get on in the second race.
Absolutely. So drivers just on their warm-up at the moment, just while they are getting ready for this race, getting used to how the car drives. And, well, it's an opportunity for some of those who maybe didn't have a good first race to give a second race, or count themselves in that second race. So, well, it's certainly a good opportunity for them. And
it's a good opportunity for us to show you some discount codes on screen. If you were new to the iRacing service and you like what you're watching, and who wouldn't after seeing that opening race, then you can join the action, be part of perhaps the Club Series next week if you wanted. Use some of the discount codes, join today and get 3 months for the price of 1 here on iRacing with the promo code PR-BSRTC. And Black Friday is coming up as well soon, so you might be able to take some advantage of some membership deals there. And you can get €30 off some JCL Sim Racing products with the promo code 5VATA1KA. So I'll check out that offer as well.
That's a really catchy promo code. I like that one.
Yeah.
Just slips off the tongue. But seriously though, thanks to those guys at JCL Sim Products for providing us with such a good code. Save yourself some money off of their products. Some fantastic products that they've got as well. But as I say, also get yourself 3 months for the price of 1 if you join iRacing with the promo code PR-BSRTC. As you can see on screen and in the description below here on the YouTube channel as well. If you're watching it on YouTube, and if you're not, if you're watching it on iRacing Live, then well, thanks a lot for joining us. And well, this is the Club Series. It happens each Sunday night, and the racing just gets better and better. And well, I mean, that first race was a prime example of how good the racing can be, but it's also partly down to this track as well. And it's part of the reason why they run this track at this championship, because it always produces really good racing. We saw, I think it was 2 seasons ago, 2 or 3 seasons ago, Ben Hackerson was the one doing all the moves down the outside into the Ascara chicane. So the non-conventional lines can work as well, Adam.
Yeah, and he seemed to have perfected that. Even now, we saw him doing some of those moves in the first race, him trying to wrestle that position back from Diego Melrose. So he's definitely one to watch out for. We'll see if he's going to be using that again in the second race. The warm-up's now over. We can go down to the grid. Let's have a look at the starting grid then quickly. We've got a minute or two before the lights go on. Chris Sherburn starts on pole position. Second is Perry Warburton, we were mentioning him earlier. Linton Swaby starts third with Neil Rocks fourth. Scott Malcolm fifth. Max Wright sixth. Jim Flanagan will start in seventh. Eighth, John Roberts. Ninth, Jason Rowe. Ben Warburton rounds out the top 10. Tristan Bottis will start 11th. Roy Ververke in 12th. Alex Everett 13th. Mark Woodhouse in 14th. And the unrelated Andrew Woodhouse will start in 15th. Sean Gardner 16th. Ian Roskell 17th. 18th for Stuart McFadden. Piers Pryor 19th and 20th for Adam Hadfield. Chris Wood 21st. 22nd Tom Stanley. 23rd for Clinton Bell. 24th Matt Bunn, 25th Michael Hall, 26th Diogo Melro, 27th our race 1 winner Ben Hackerson, David South 28th, 29th Alan Brown, and Andrew Whitehead rounds out the top 30.
Yeah, there's so many cars that, yeah, well, away we go then. It's going to be another 20 minutes of the Club Series. The green light comes on and away we go then. And it's a good start from Chris Sherburn. There's a slow starter further back. They're all having to fan out there. And, well, hopefully there won't be a big incident as they head down in towards turn 1. Look at that field as they head down towards turn 1 now. And it is Chris Sherburn who's in the lead. Warburton is side by side with 74. That is Scott Malcolm, I believe. So Scott Malcolm we saw who was leading. Oh, there's a crash further back. Big clouds of smoke at the back. We've got cars spinning around. One of the Ted Ball cars. That's number 40. That is
Andrew Whitehead.
Andrew Whitehead, yeah. Everyone still able to go on.
Lyndon Swaby's blown an engine.
Swaby blown an engine, yeah. That's what the big cloud of smoke was that I saw. And, well, into the second chicane now. De La Rocha in Sherburn's round. Chris Sherburn, was he pushed or was it just cold tyres?
It was on his own. It was on his own.
Oh, that's a disaster for Chris. He's going to have to wait for everybody. We've got more crashing. Oh, there's a big, big crash here. And, well, it's going to be a yellow flag. Yes, yellow flag is out. So we've got more crashing even after the safety car is called. That track was blocked there, and well, everybody's just going to have to just calm down now. But Alan Brown, look at the damage on the right-hand side of Alan Brown's car. He's really going to struggle to come back to the pits maybe to get that fixed. But Chris Sherburn, pole position down to 38th. That is just heartbreaking for Chris there.
Well, just going to double check that it was him on his own. Going into the second chicane, the Roger he goes. Yeah, just loses it. And there was no coming back from that. And just looking to see what happened in the huge incident that caused this safety car. Going through the Roger we go, and who's that turned around? I think it's one of the boosted cars. No, I stand corrected. It is Craig Evans. Craig Evans was turned around. He was hit by out of control. Is that David South? Missed his braking point by a long way.
Yeah, so that was one of the incidents that happened.
That was one of the incidents. And
there was another one after the De La Rocha, and it's 87. That's Chris Wood.
And number 9...
Roy Ververke.
Roy Ververke. That was quarter panel.
That's what caused the track blockage there. Ververke was moving left. Whether they got stuck together or something like that. But anyway, big incident. Ververke got sent over. Chris Wood was in the track as well, with cars bearing down on them. And yeah, that's the reason why we had the safety car come out there, because the track was pretty blocked there. We had cars still crashing as well after the safety car was called. Chaz Draycott caught Ron Ververke's car as he was going past as he was rolling down the track. So yeah, big moment there. Roy Ververke is just sat at pit entry. He doesn't want to get a penalty maybe. No, he's going to come back onto the track, because of course if you go into the pits on the first lap of a safety car, then you end up with a back of line penalty. That's one of the things with the safety car here, as the safety car has picked up our race leader Perry Warburton. Just to give you the rundown of your top 10 then. Perry Warburton in the lead, Scott Malcolm second, Neil Rocks third, Max Wright fourth with John Roberts fifth. Sixth is Jim Flanagan, seventh Alex Everett, eighth is Jason Rowe, he'll be really pleased with that so far. Ninth is Ben Warburton, Tristan Bodice is in 10th place, but it'd be interesting to see how Perry goes on here, because Perry, he can't remember if he is a race winner or not. I'm just having a look through my stats here, just to see whether it was him or whether it was Ben Warburton that has won a race previously in the past. Adam, just fill some time while I'm trying to find that out. But
I think Ben Warburton's won a race, if that helps. But yeah, I was just looking at some of the biggest movers. Almost all of the top 10 have moved up a position, of course, due to the demise of Chris Sherburn. But it's really when you've got to look outside the top 10 to see that some of the drivers have gained quite a few positions. Adam Hadfield's gained 6. He's gone from 20th to 14th inside the opening half a lap. Piers Pryor 19th to 13th. So even though he's good in qualifying and in race once, he can that does show he can overtake. Clinton Bell's gone from 23rd to 17th, 24th to 18th as well for Matt Bunn. Let's see how our race 1 top finishers getting on. Diego Melro 26th to 21st, 27th to 22nd for Ben Hackison, of course. Those two, the top 2 in race 1. And Andrew Woodhouse 15th to 11th. So quite a few guys outside the top 10 have gained positions. Of course, that was where the main action was, and they've benefited quite a bit from it. Safety car's just completing its first lap now, and the lights should go out when we get to the line. And then we will be going racing again, of course. A 20-minute race. And who's that going into the pits? We've got... Oh, it's having he's making sure that I'm on my toes there. That was Scott Malcolm having a bit of fun there.
Do you know what? That's a bit of oval driving, is that?
That is,
doing the little fake of into the pit lane. We have got cars going in. Oh, another car faking it, going into the pit lane at the back. Just let you know, Perry Warburton has not won a race in this series. So it'd be interesting to see how he does on the restart. I mean, we saw it last time, I believe it was Scott Malcolm at Brands Hatch. He was in the lead, and it was the restart of that, and he did a pretty good restart, actually. So it'd be interesting to see how Perry does with the restart, whether he sort of tries to back up the field as they go down towards the Parabolica and then get on the power as he's coming out the Parabolica, or if he's just going to keep it up with the pace car and wait for it to go in. It's an interesting tactic, how you work that pace car on the restart.
Yeah, will he do a Schumacher on it from 2000 as one of the cars gets their lap back? Roy Verke did take the trip to the pits this time around, so he doesn't get that penalty. I don't know whether we've seen a safety car disaster happen here before. I know we've had cars crash off on formation laps. I think that was Dan Blake a few seasons ago in the BSRTC. I think we might have had it once where someone...
I don't like to say this, but you've had me crashing the BSRTC on the warm-up when we had a rolling start, so... yeah, it's easily done.
We've had 2 Apex commentary members then on this club series. I've just got to finish it off then.
Yeah,
I think we've had one safety car disaster here in the past where someone's misjudged where the safety car was and caused a big bottleneck. But hopefully we won't see that here. We've seen it in the past, and I'm sure the drivers by now have learned their lesson to wait until the safety car is quite a way ahead. So we'll see what Perry Warburton does. Of course, yet to win a race in the club series. We'll see if he can get it done in this second race.
Well, look at this. The top 4 then, they're all Tier 2 drivers. The first Tier 1 driver is John Roberts in 5th place. So good opportunity for some good points for these Tier 2 drivers in this one, because it's going to be difficult for those further back to move through the field. And as we say, it was a 28 car reverse grid in that one. So yeah, the lights are out here. We're getting close towards the end of the lap here. We're going to have less than 12 minutes. In fact, we're going to have about 11 minutes left in this race. So it's going to be a real sprint race as this one. So basically, one thing that won't be quite so much of a concern is tyre wear, Adam.
Yeah, that's one thing crossed off the list then. I still think we might have a bit of an issue. What's the track temperature looking like? We have got a track temperature of 90 degrees. And in the IMSA race earlier, we were seeing tyre wear being an issue for some of the cars. I know they're completely different to Kia Optimus, of course, but front-wheel drive cars usually it does take a toll on the tyres. So we'll see who looks after it best. Of course, these 4 Tier 2 drivers at the front. We'll see if they're able to hold back the onslaught of the Tier 1 drivers coming through. Here we come for the restart.
Yeah, and Perry Warburton weaving there to get some tyre temperature in there. I don't really think you want to be doing that, Perry, because it's temperature that really this Kia struggles with. Anyway, he's dropping it back a little bit. He's going to take a wide line. He doesn't need to go too early because the pace car does pull in pretty late on this pit lane, and Perry Warburton is hanging back. He's going to wait. He's got to wait a little longer. And now he goes. He gets the jump on Scott Malcolm. A good jump there as well. We're going to have the green flag in the air for 10.5 minutes then remaining in this one. We've already got cars side by side going down the start finish straight. I do believe it's Andrew Woodhouse is trying to make a move there further back, but Perry Warburton, the ideal start, if he can get the braking right into turn 1, then that is absolutely perfect, and it is. We've got side by side as well Jim Flanagan and John Roberts there coming to blows a little bit, and well, how is everybody else getting on through this field? And so far so good. Everybody's behaving themselves through turn 1, so yeah, that's a great restart from everybody. But Perry Warburton, look at him, 9/10 of a second ahead. If he can make a breakaway here, if he can get about 1.6, 1.7 seconds ahead, then he will break that draft. Scott Malcolm just clambering over the curbs. Everybody else, will they be able to make it through? This is where we had the problem at the start of the race before. We got side by side with Michael Hall and Tom Stanley as well. Everybody's making it through there. It's not quite as congested as it was at the start, but Ian Roskell as well making the move there, trying to make the move there on Adam Hadfield, but yeah, Hadfield staying there in 13th place. Perry Warburton, by the way, 1.1 seconds ahead, so he's already trying to make that break, but now Scott Malcolm, he'll be starting to get the draft, and Neil Rocks is getting taken with him.
Yeah, and it's just a simple mistake for Perry Warburton as well, could let them back into the slipstream. I think 1 second is still enough for the slipstream to still be a factor. However, Scott Malcolm can't really use it if he's having to withstand the pressure from Neil Rocks behind, which is what Rocks is doing. Here we go towards the Parabolica. Rocks looking to the outside. Oh, late on the brakes there. Same for Scott Malcolm. He gets a bit of distance on Neil Rocks, but he'll have a poor exit. And that's what we were saying at the beginning of the broadcast. You need great exits here in these Kia Optimas to stop the cars from behind getting such a great slipstream down the straight and passing you.
Piers Pryor, by the way, up to 12th place now. Of course, he was affected by that slowdown at the start of the first race, so he's having to have a recovery drive here. And, well,
lining up Woodhouse.
Right, yeah, Andrew Woodhouse is under pressure here. Jim Flanagan as well, looking as well side by side. And Pryor down the outside of Woodhouse is going to have the inside line. Is he going to have that place? So Andrew Woodhouse is giving it as good as he gets, and he's going to come back here. Well, Matt Woodward got 3 wide further back. Clinton Belt, Matt Woodhouse and Matthew Bunn. That's not going to end well, going through Curva Grande. And, well, they're going 3 wide still through there. And they're going to head towards the De La Roggia. And Bunn manages to sneak ahead of Mark Woodhouse there. And in the meantime, Perry Warburton, Piers Pryor still stuck behind Andrew Woodhouse. And, well, Perry Warburton, speaking of him, that lead has come down now. It's only 0.4 of a second. Look at that queue of cars behind him.
Yeah, don't look in the mirrors, Perry. If you can, just turn it off. Going down the straight, here we go towards the Ascari then. How many cars has he got? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 7, 8, or 8, about 8 cars. We're down to Tristan Bottis, who's in 9th car. So he's got an 8-car train forming behind him. And, yeah, he's got up the inside. Goes, that is
John Roberts.
John Roberts trying to get past Max.
Yeah.
Right. Going through the Ascari chicane, they're going to be side by side towards the final corner. But Perry Warburton, he's now got to be worried because Scott Malcolm's got the slipstream.
Yeah, he had the run as well through the Ascari chicane, so down in towards the Parabolica they go. And Neil Rocks, he's a man who wants a good result. He wants to get his name in lights here. And Scott Malcolm getting the cutback there, getting a great drive out of the Parabolica, and he's going to take the lead here. Possibly they're going to go side by side across the line. It's Perry Warburton just at the line at the moment, but 15 thousandths of a second between him and Scott Malcolm as they went across the line. Onto the brakes they go now. Who will be able to make it into this first chicane? The Ritafilio contact between them, a little bit of door banging, and that's going to allow Neil Neil Rocks to have a little bit of a run maybe on them. And, well, behind them, they're still clambering over each other, trying to make their way through this field. And, well, fantastic racing so far. Scott Malcolm, though, having to stay behind Perry Warburton to head towards the Della Rocha. He's going to look to the outside here. And, well, almost on the brakes, hard onto the brakes there, and Perry late, too late on the brakes. He's had to slow it up mid-corner, and look at this pack now. They're all over the back of him, and well, it goes all the way down to, I think, about 15th place now to this queue.
Oh, and Neil Rocks is almost at the mercy of John Roberts. Roberts up the inside, and Roberts is through. So, and contact behind. That is an office. Oh, no. Oh, dear me. And they all avoid him. That's fantastic.
That is luck more than judgment, I can tell you. It was 129 that he made contact with Alex Everett. And Max Wright went into the barrier. Oh, so close to being collected there was Max Wright. He's still in the gravel now. He's still having to stay out of the way. But look at this now at the front. Perry Warburton, just look at that queue of cars as they go down towards the Parabolica. It's absolutely incredible. There's a car running really wide through the exit of the Ascari, and down into Parabolica they go once again. John Roberts, though, the man who's maybe sneaking, trying to get through as a Tier 1 driver, he's maybe sniffing a victory here because he's behind Scott Malcolm now, and he's got a good run as well on Scott, and he's going to look to the inside of him.
He comes across the line then onto lap 8 of the race. How long we've got? We've got less than 5 minutes to go. Of course, the safety car really shortening the distance of the race here. And Malcolm's closing in on Warburton, but he can't go to the inside because Roberts is there. And Roberts might get 2 positions. He's up the inside of Warburton.
That is absolutely fantastic. There's contact on the back.
And he's over.
Perry Warburton. Oh, it had to happen to him. That is absolutely tragic that he got caught up in that. I believe it was Neil Rocks who went into the back, was it? Oh no, it was somebody who went to the back of Neil Rocks, one of the Grant cars. That's Jim Flanagan who went into the back of Rocks, and that sent Malcolm into Warburton, and Warburton up and over. He's back up and running 23rd, but John Roberts now in the lead, 1.7 seconds. That's crucial. He could almost be away for the slipstream. That could be enough of a gap to get away.
And Andrew Woodhouse is out. And so is Piers Pryor, is that? That is Piers Pryor. They're both in the gravel.
We've got enough of car flying as well. Liam Roskell in the gravel as well.
Oh, it's Adam Hadfield, Paul. It's Adam Hadfield. He misses his braking point going into the Lesmo, and he just rattles the back of Andrew Woodhouse. The car with the back of the Kia Optima goes into the air. That's how hard he hit the Team Dial-Up car, and 2 Team Dial-Up cars have been hit in the space of less than half a lap.
Well, all these drivers are fighting, squabbling over each other, but they're allowing others to get away. And, well, the 2 that are out the front, John Roberts and Scott Malcolm, they've got gap now. Scott Malcolm really needs to hope that he can keep that slipstream because, well, he's 1.5 seconds behind. He's got a lot of damage to the front of his car as well as Ben Hackerson goes into the back of one of the Club 73 with Nitro Racing. Who was that the wrong way around?
That's Jason Rowe. He got hit from behind in the Parabolica. Who did he get hit by? No, he hit the rear of Neil Rocks, and that turned the car around. And thankfully, he was so far to the inside that no one hit him.
It's just absolutely crazy.
3 wide into the first corner.
Oh, this is never going to end well. And, Tom Stanley's in there, Diogo Melro, and, the 2 Club 73 cars are battering each other as well.
No.
Ben Hackerson is going to come through, and what else is happening here, Adam? It's crazy.
Hadfield and Flanagan were on the grass going through Curva Grande. I don't know how they escaped without damage, and here comes the other car behind. That's Automecha thinking, is that Stuart McFadden?
Yeah.
Trying to get through. Oh, Flanagan's at it again, and he hits him.
And it's checking up everyone behind them. Oh, more contact with Neil Rocks and Flanagan. And, well, amazingly, everyone's still running. But, this is craziness in this one. Everyone's desperate. We're going to have one more lap at the end of this one, so it's only going to be a 9-lap race. And we've got more contact going on. And, I tell you what, I don't envy the stewards for this one, because I think there might be a few people putting in a few protests here. But anyway, Michael Hall is side by side. Who is he side by side with? I can't see on my view. It's Neil Rocks. No, it's not. It's Diogo Melrose. So Melrose and Hall swapping positions. Neil Rocks is side by side with Matt Bunn, and Rocks goes across the chicane. He's going to have a slowdown penalty there, so he's going to lose out another position. And well, Michael Hall is bringing Diogo Melrose with him, and Matthew Bunn is bringing Sam Reed. Is that with him as well? So those Club 73 cars, they're getting involved. Ben Hackerson as well. It's really. It's absolutely great race. It's a bit carnage, a bit more carnage than the first race was. By the way, we're on to the final lap. We've got Jim Flanagan is there battling Aaron Hadfield. Who's Alex Everett and Tristan Bodis side by side. Oh, 3 wide behind them. They're going on the grass as well. Who was that? That was McFadden on the grass.
Flanagan.
Oh, and Flanagan missing his braking, and he's out. This race is disqualified. He is gone. That is Flanagan out this one. Disaster for Team Mad, the team's champions of last season. So Flanagan dropping down the timing streak here. By the way, it is the last lap. John Roberts 1.8 seconds ahead of Scott Malcolm while all this craziness is going on. Scott Malcolm is 3.6 seconds ahead of Alex Everett, who's on for a podium here. Tristan Bodis fighting off this battling, hard charging Adam Hadfield. McFadden, and a big
He's not
crash.
charging anymore.
Yeah, he's not, and that's going to come back into it. There's a big crash there, and Melrose. Well, race one runner-up, Diogo Melrose involved in that one. Who else was in that? Was that? Well, I know Tristan Bodis was there. Sam Reed. Oh, Sam Reed just cannot get a break at all in this one. He had technical problems in the first race. Second race, well, that's ended his race for him. John Roberts, though, he's taking it easy through the Ascara chicane on this last lap. And, well, just unbelievable. It's craziness in the second race. The first race, well, if the first race was a three-course meal, then this one has been a dodgy kebab out of a curry house. That's for sure, because, well, John Roberts coming through the parabolica for the final time, and he's going to take his win, a first win here in the Club Series. He's going to come across that timing line, and well done John Roberts for taking that win. Second place, good result for Scott Malcolm, and Alex Everett, great result for him on the podium. But we've still got battling Tom Stanley and Ben Hackerson side by side. Hackerson cannot get away from these side by side moments, and who is it that takes the place? It is Hackerson.
They set the same time. They set the same time.
How on earth does it separate it? It must be to the tens of thousandths of a second. That is unbelievable. Across the line, absolutely together. Fantastic between those two. And further down, well, everybody's just running around to get to the end here. And, well, craziness, absolute madness. And, well, in the end, John Roberts is the man who beats all that madness and craziness, and finishes with the big W next to his name, the big win, and a pretty clean car as well. And that was the key to his race, keeping it clean.
And yeah, he managed to work his way through the Tier 2 cars. Tell you what, Paul, you want to add an extra sense of urgency to a race, throw a safety car out and turn a 20-minute race into a 10-minute brawl, especially on a circuit as long as Monza. The drivers were definitely eager to get themselves to the front by any means, and some did it better than others. And John Roberts, yeah, 8th to 1st, fantastic job. And Boosted Motorsport last season, they were usually good at taking race 2 wins. Andrew Whitehead took a fair few, and now John Roberts has put himself on top of the podium here in the second race at Monza.
And they're crashing on the slowdown lap as well. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll quickly run you through your results. And so, Adam, why don't you take it away?
Okay, so John Roberts takes the win in the 4th race of the season. Scott Malcolm finishing 2nd. 3rd for Alex Everett. 4th for Stuart McFadden. From 18th on the grid, 24th to 5th for Matt Bunn, and 25th to 6th for Michael Hall. The two CQR drivers doing a brilliant job of scything their way through the madness that was going on in the front of this field. Tom Stanley, Ben Hackerson and Tom Stanley setting exactly the same times in 7th to 8th. Don't know how iRacing separated them there. Probably whose computer registered their finish first. 9th, Ben Gregory, and 10th is Piers Pryor. Ben Warburton finished 11th, sadly the highest of the team dial-up cars. Perry Warburton managed to get himself off his roof and get to 12th place. Sean Gardner finished in 13th, Craig Evans 14th from 35th on the grid. 39th to 15th for Stuart Atkinson is a brilliant achievement as well. And Diego Melro, who was off in the gravel on the final lap, managed to get 16th place, overtaking Clinton Bell and Andrew Woodhouse in the final 2 corners of the final lap, because the last time I saw them they were ahead of Melro. Bell and Woodhouse finishing 17th and 18th respectively. Stephen Baxter finishing in 19th after starting 34th. And another commendable result, 32nd to 20th. Charles Draco, after a bad first race, managed to get 21st. 22nd for David White. Chris Wood finished in 23rd place. Chris Sherburn, the pole sitter, spun off at the first corner, and after the safety car could only get as high as 24th. 25th for Dale Green. James Leggett finishing in 26th. 27th for Jason Rowe. 28th Ethan McColgan. 29th for Alan Brown. And Andrew Whitehead finishing in 30th. Probably the only driver that started and finished in the same position. 31st for Ian Roskell. 32nd for Roy Verburke after the crash at the start. 33rd for Lyndon Swaby, who blew an engine. Or what looked like blowing an engine. He was able to come back, probably helped by the fast tow that we might have in the Club Series, of course, yeah. Adrian King finishing in 34th. 35th for Mark Woodhouse. Neil Rocks, who started 4th, finished in 36th. Rob Graham, 37th. 38th for Tristan Bodis. 39th for Max Wrighton, and the cars 1 lap down or more. We had Adam Hadfield, who was disqualified and crashed on the final lap of the race. Jim Flanagan also crashed at the start of the final lap. Sam Reed also 1 lap down, eliminated in that crash that occurred on the final lap as well. And David South, who crashed out on the first lap of the race. So, unbelievably, Paul, we only had 1 non-classified finisher after all that.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. What we'll do is quickly grab a word. First of all, Adam, take it away with race 1 winner, Mr. Ben Hackerson.
Oh, well, Ben, Monza usually throws up the occasional brilliant race, and we saw 2 of those today, and you won one of them. Tell us about your first race from your perspective.
It's got to be the best race I've ever had in iRacing, in sim racing ever. Hats off to Diego. I think that was so clean as well. I think there was 1 contact over 8 laps or something like that.
Yeah, the move around the outside of the Variante Ascari, that must have been brilliant. It was brilliant for us to watch from the cameras, but inside the car, that must have been a brilliant move.
Yeah, it's my favourite place on the track, is that, around the outside of Ascari. Much prefer it to the inside. I always screw it up on the inside.
And then we move on to race 2. I'm sure you saw a few crashes during that race. 31st on the grid, you ended up getting 9th. No, sorry, 27th to 7th. Yeah, looking at the wrong Ben.
Yeah, it was, again, really fun. It was with Diego as well. We're just going through the field together again. Really clean. I don't know. It was just a bit crazy in the midfield, as you can imagine. But it's a lot of fun, as always. I didn't know I was 7th until right at the end. So I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, you and Tom Stanley separated, although they couldn't separate you at the end. You set exactly the same time.
Yeah, and I think in front of us as well was a dead heat. So that's Monza for you.
Yeah, I've just realised that. Yeah, 2 Teddy finishes there. Well, next week we head to Motegi, a night race as well. How do you think you're going to fare around there?
I've never driven the track, so who knows.
Should be brilliant. Yeah, and just before we let you go, I know you're a privateer, but have you got any one to send a shout out to?
Diego again, just for the cracking racing tonight. Loved it.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Ben, and yeah, we'll see you at Motegi next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, so from one race winner to another, Mr. John Roberts joins us now, and John, it was a survival of the fittest in that second race, and your car was the cleanest of them all. You got the win.
Yeah, thanks very much. That was definitely an interesting race. The guys in front were not quite as quick as me, so I thought I'd really just go for it and see what happened.
And well, we saw what happened. You were able to make it through, but you move for the lead. Making it 2 places in one move down the start and finish straight down in towards the Retifilia. Just talk us through that. Did you think that you would get that lead on that move?
I figured I was probably going to get Scott. I don't know whether Ben was going to sort of defend particularly hard for that one. So I just went for it and then couldn't believe what unfolded in my mirror as I came out of the corner.
Yeah, unfortunately for Perry getting turned over there. But
Sorry, was it Perry? I didn't realise.
it was
I thought
Perry.
Ben. Okay.
Was it Perry or Ben? No.
It was Perry.
It was
Yeah, it
one
was
of the
Perry,
Warpsons
yeah.
anyway, yeah.
They're not going to forgive me for that now. The important thing was that you were then able to make that gap, wasn't it? That was the important thing for you, to be able to get that gap to try and cut that slipstream effect.
Yeah, it's always a risk at Monza. You've got to try and get a good second and a half at least to try and break the toe to the car behind. And then I came out of the corner, I think the relatives said about 2.2. I thought, we're on for this one.
Well, next week we head on over to Twin Ring Motegi around the Grand Prix track, including one of the night races. We raced there last season. How do you think you'll fare this season?
I think we'll do okay. I do love Motegi. It's a very different challenge to the rest of the tracks. It's sort of very point and squirt, and it's got that infamous Japanese tarmac.
And well, just before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick mention to just before you head off?
Obviously, I'll give a mention out to my two fantastic teammates, Mr. Andrew Whitehead and Stuart, and also the guys at Power Slide, so it kind of includes Sean and James as well.
Does Stuart not have a second name?
Atkinson. We just call him Stu.
Well, anyway, congratulations on the win there. Your first win in the club series. Well done on that. It's a great effort from you there, John.
Second, actually. I think there was one.
Second?
There was one at Silverstone, I think, last season.
Do you know what? All that happened in that race, it's all just gone. Anyway, well done anyway on the victory. Enough of victory to you now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the broadcasting and all the other good stuff that you guys do as well. It's been fantastic today.
Oh, no worries. So
we've enjoyed it.
Yeah, and so John Roberts there was joining us. God, blimey, we've got a veritable smorgasbord of people to have a chat with here. I'll tell you what, yeah, Scott Malcolm, because he did get a good result there, second place. Why don't you take it away with Scott?
Yeah, it's almost like the roles reversed of the pen here. We've got more drivers than journalists to interview them. Yeah, we've got Scott Malcolm joining us, a second place in the end, 1.5 seconds behind. Did you pick up a bit of damage towards the end that hindered your progress of catching John Roberts?
No, I don't think so. I think John was just that fast. I was too busy trying to get past Perry. I didn't see him coming up the right hand side of us. But it was an absolutely great move by John.
Oh yeah, brilliant second race to get up to second. What was it like battling with all those guys once the safety car pulled in?
Well, like I said, I was struggling to get past Perry. No matter what I did, I just could not get past him. And then that first chicane, managed to get my nose in, but then I think he could have cut across me a wee bit and quarter panelled him, and then I think Neil tipped him right over.
And what about your first race? How did that go?
Well, I always try to aim to get in the reverse grid places. And that always sets me up for the second race. So it went pretty well. Went to plan. I'm getting closer. To get that first win. Hopefully it'll come soon.
And next week we head to Twin Ring Motegi. What's your opinion of that track?
I'll just go out there and just practice where I practice for all the other tracks and just see what happens.
Great, well before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Nah, I don't really. Nah, just to the rest of the Ultimate guys, and I just want to say to Stu, what a great drive here tonight for 50-year-old. No bad going.
Brilliant, well done on the second place. Yeah, getting closer to that win. We'll see you at the next race meeting then. Scott, thanks for talking to us.
Aye, no bother, Adam. Cheers.
Yeah, Scott Malcolm there, joining us, second place. Oh dear. Who else do we speak to? Well, we've spoken to... well, actually, what we'll do is we'll speak to a broadcast colleague of ours, Mr. Andrew Woodhouse. Now, you were... talk us through your first race and the second race. So starting with the first race, how did that go for yourself?
Hi, Paul. Yeah, it was mental out there. It was crazy. First race, everyone was quite well behaved around where I was, which was a relief because it is Monza and stuff happens. We know that, but yeah, it was all right. I mean, I got some damage. I was side by side with Mark Woodhouse, and to be honest, it was a bit of a mistake on my part. We sort of drove into each other. Mostly my fault, I think, but I got damaged from that, and unfortunately, we couldn't really move forward from there. But we had really good pace the first race, so it was really frustrating. And same with Ben. Ben got hit and got damaged as well. Second race was actually going really well. Perry was in the lead. Ben was just in front of me. I was keeping Piers behind, and then Adam Hadfield just smashed me.
Yeah, saw that.
Good and proper. So yeah, I'm not, I'm not happy about that, to be fair, but these things happen, don't they? After that, it was just damage. I had a meatball. I couldn't do anything. I was losing the rear every time I turned in, and I think it was a minor miracle that we finished where we did. But I've got to say, everybody, that's probably our best result as a team for a while. So,
Yeah, it is. I mean, it was heartbreaking for Perry after leading the race to get turned over like that. But he did a good job to finish in 12th in the end there, along with Ben finishing 11th as well.
Yeah, considering he was facing the wrong way.
Yeah. At
one point, it was a cracking drive, and the heartbreaking thing for me was he did everything right. His restart was perfect. His start was really good. His restart was perfect. His racing was good, and then just a bit of a. I think it's a bit of a racing incident. It's difficult, it's difficult to call it. I think, Perry cut across a little bit. Scott was a bit late making his move, and one of those that happens. But we're happy. I mean, we're happy in general. I don't know how I finished where I did. In both the races really, because it's just a shame we had the damage. I think we could have contended for a top 5 if. Well, we definitely, all three of us could have been in the top 5 if it wasn't for the damage. So, but it's good. I mean, Monza's always fun, isn't it? And I mean, did you guys enjoy the race? Was it a good race for?
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
From the, so.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
Always had something going on, so that's always good. But we've asked everyone else. We'll ask for your thoughts as well. Twin Ring Motegi around the Grand Prix circuit. How do you think you'll fare around there?
I mean, okay. I'd like to think okay. I mean, Motegi's a track that I quite like. It's always one of those Marmite tracks, but I like to think I'm quite good on the brakes. I'm quite good in the slow stuff. It's fast corners where I tend to struggle a little bit. So, we've got a good chance of doing something pretty decent. I mean, we've had a good start to the season. We've finished every race so far, which is amazing, because I think after a while last season, I don't think we'd finished many races at all. So yeah.
And just finally, I know you've mentioned them before, but anyone you want to give a quick mention to before we head off?
Yeah, just shout out to Perry, to Ben, to Apex Racing UK, to Apex Racing TV, and yeah, I look forward to the next one. Cheers, guys.
Okay, well, Andrew Woodhouse, that is then. Thank you for joining us. And well, we're running out of time here, Adam. So quickly, final thoughts then from this race. Race 1, absolutely magical. Race 2, of a good old-fashioned scrap, wasn't it?
Yeah, we enjoy that occasionally from time to time. The first race had the quality, and the second race had the usual grit that we expect from the club series. And once again, Monza never ceases to provide great racing, and it did so again. And we head to Twin Ring Motegi next week. Completely different kettle of fish, really. A technical circuit, and of course, in the second race, we've got a night race as well. So should be interesting to see what happens there. The cooler conditions, and of course, this Kia loves to slide around a bit when the temperature does drop. So another brilliant race meeting I expect next week.
Okay, well, that's all time we've got for you today. So thanks a lot for everybody for joining us here on the broadcast. Thank you to all the drivers for the magnificent racing. Thank you to Adam for joining us. Welcome back to the series, and what a cracker we had for you. From myself, Paul, and from Samuli Kumo on the cameras. It's a very goodbye from the club series here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. Good night.